Hello scholars, welcome back to the channel. We're looking at the line graph. What is a line graph? Well, it's set up in the same way that the bar graph is set up, with your vertical axis having the numbers and the horizontal axis having whatever it is you're comparing, whether it's days, items, or whatever. But this time, instead of bars, we use actual lines to connect the points. So we take the readings for each thing and then we connect the lines, and we do this so that we can see the trend, the pattern of how the different numbers vary, how they range from day to day or object to object. So the title of this line graph is Books Sold at the Bookshop. So we have the line graph shows the number of books sold at the school's bookshop over a 2-week period. So many times when you see the line graph, it is comparing things that occur over a period of time, whether days, weeks, years, right? Many times that's how the line graph is used, to make comparisons so you can see the pattern. Does it rise? Does it fall? Does it fluctuate? Alright, so let's look at those words. So if we look at the patterns, the way that the lines flow, sometimes it might look like it's increasing, it's getting more. It might be gradually getting more, or it might be a steep increase all of a sudden. Or it might be decreasing, it might be getting less. And it might be getting less over a gradual period, or just one steep decrease. When we say that the line fluctuates, that means it goes up, down, might go up a little, down. So it's going all over the place, up, down, right? And so we have to look at the patterns in order to make the comparisons. As well as it might have a flat line. So this flat line means there was no change. The same readings that we took here, same reading. Same amount over this period. Alright, so we're going to look at the line graph and we're going to answer the questions. Right? So it shows the number of books sold in the school's bookshop over a 2-week period. So from Monday to Friday for the first week, and then Monday to Friday for the second week. So the first Monday, let's write down the readings so we can have a clear picture for the 2 weeks. Let's actually write down the readings. So for the first week, on the Monday, 10 books were sold. On the Tuesday, we had 13 books sold. So we just find the highest point and take the reading to the side, right? So here is 15, but this comes across at 30. On Wednesday, 5 books sold. Thursday, also 5 books sold. Friday, there was a peak. All of a sudden, we had this is 19. It don't reach the 20 yet, so 19 books sold on the Friday. So writing down the numbers, we can see 10 books sold on Monday, a little more sold on Thursday, and then it decreased. For Tuesday it increased. For Wednesday, Thursday it decreased. Same amount as on Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday just all of a sudden went back up. Let's see what happened the second week. So on Monday, 17 books sold. Tuesday, that's 19 books sold. No, 18 books sold. Wednesday, it decreased to, all the way, take the reading over, 7 books. Thursday, it decreased even more to 3 books. Friday, it rose sharply again. And this time, it was 13 books. Okay. So let's have an idea of how many books were sold the first week. So 5 and 5, 10, and 9, 19, and 3, 22, 2 and 1, 3, 4, 5. 52 books were sold the first week. Let's see how many books were sold the second week. 7 and 3, 10, 18, 21, 28, 3, 4, 5. 58 books were sold the second week. Alright, so this today, they both had a good amount of books the Monday and Tuesday sold. Wednesday and Thursday were always less. For both weeks, the Wednesday and Thursday were much less than the others. And Fridays always rose again. So we see a pattern over the 2 weeks. Right? We see a pattern over the 2 weeks. So let's answer the questions now based on our readings. On which day in the first week, they're asking us to focus on the first week. On which day in the first week was there the highest sale? So looking at the first week, on which day? The Friday. In the first week, the Friday had the highest sale. On which days in the first week was there the lowest sales? So again, they want us to focus on the first week. On which day was there the lowest sale? So these 2 days had the same number of books sold, and that was the lowest. So on which days? So that was the Wednesday and... Asar, please sit up and do the work. Wednesday and Thursday. On which days in the second week was there the lowest sale? So now they want us to focus on the second week. The second week, the lowest sale. So that would be the Thursday. In the second week, the Thursday had the lowest sale. Alright, how many books were sold in the first week? So we already added up the first week. We got 52 books. 52 books. How many books were sold in the second week? We already added those up and we got 58 books. On which day do you think the school would put an extra person to help out in the bookshop? Why do you think so? So on which day of the week do you think the school would put an extra person to help out in the bookshop? Well, for the first week we had the most books. We noticed that on a Friday there's always a peak. There's always a spike. It goes way back up on a Friday. See that? So on Mondays they sell a good amount of books. But 19 on this Friday, and on this Friday it was still going back up. So I would say my choice would either be on a Monday, because Mondays always have a lot of books sold, Tuesdays also. But the day I would really go with is a Friday because it's always rising. Always rising on the Friday. So I would choose Friday, and I would say because there is always an increase. There is always an increase on a Friday. This is the kind of question where there's not necessarily a wrong, an outright wrong answer as long as you can back up your stance. So if you said, I think Mondays they should have an extra person there because the numbers are pretty stable, pretty high on Mondays, or you could say for Tuesday. So as long as you can back up your point, but I'm choosing the Friday because looking at the graph, it's always increasing on the Friday. Always increasing on the Friday. See that? Alright, so number 7. What was the difference between the most and the least books? The difference. Difference between the most and the least. So whenever we're asked to find the difference, we know that we're asked to subtract. And they want us to find the difference between the most and the least over the 2-week period. Over the entire 2 weeks. So the most recorded was 19 and the least recorded was 3. The most was 19 and the least was 3. So 19 take away 3, that's 16. The difference between the highest number of books sold during that 2 weeks and the lowest number of books sold during that 2 weeks was 16. That's the difference between them. So the line graph clearly shows a pattern. It clearly shows the movement of things over a period of time. Whether it's a week, 2 weeks, year, between years, right? We see how the trend, how it's trending, is it increasing? Is it increasing gradually? Is it increasing sharply? Is it decreasing gradually or decreasing sharply? Is it just haphazard all over the place? Does it fluctuate? Slowly goes up, then might go down, then might go up a little, down a little, up, then down, right? So those are the kind of patterns that we look for in order to make our comparisons. And as usual, we just look for which item we're taking the reading, find the highest point at that item and go across to the vertical axis and take our readings. And if you have to make an estimate in between the numbers, if the spaces aren't provided for you to take an accurate reading, just make the best estimate that you can make. Alright? So if you have been helped by this video, just drop a comment to say thank you, miss, and share the video to as many persons as you can so they can benefit from the information. And if you check the catalog and you don't see the video on a topic that you're really struggling with and you'd love me to do a video on that, just let me know and I'll do that for you. If you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and subscribe now and click that bell. I'll see you in the next video.